Today, we present a detailed examination of one of history's most magnificent and powerful empires, an empire that ruled vast regions of the Middle East and North Africa for more than 6 centuries. Through its military strength, effective administrative system, and profound cultural influence, this empire left an enduring mark not only on the lands it governed, but on the course of world history as a whole. In this analysis, we explore its emergence, expansion across continents, peak of power, and the factors that ultimately led to its decline. The foundation of this great empire was laid in the early years of the 14th century, at a time when the Eastern Roman, Byzantine Empire was in a state of decline. As Byzantine authority receded, numerous small states and local principalities emerged in regions that had once been under its control. These entities were fragmented, lacking unity and strong central governance. It was within this environment that a capable and determined leader arose, uniting local tribes and establishing a state that would gradually evolve into a vast empire spanning 3 continents. In its early phase, the success of this state depended largely on military innovation. Alongside traditional cavalry and archers, well-organized infantry units equipped with firearms were introduced. The effective use of artillery during sieges made it possible to capture key cities and heavily fortified strongholds, allowing the empire's borders to expand steadily. At the same time, the rulers employed skilled diplomacy, integrating local leaders into a centralized system of authority while granting them limited autonomy to preserve order and stability. By the 15th century, the empire had become a force that could no longer be ignored. One of the most decisive moments in its rise came with the conquest of a major city that had served for centuries as the capital of the Byzantine Empire. This historic victory not only marked the end of a long-established empire, but also fundamentally altered the balance of power in Europe and the Middle East. With control of this city, the empire gained dominance over vital trade routes linking Europe and Asia, greatly enhancing its wealth and international influence. The rulers of this empire were not merely victorious warriors, they were also visionary administrators and state builders. They established a well-structured and efficient bureaucracy, simplified and improved the tax system, and created judicial institutions to uphold law and order across a vast and diverse population. Education and military training were organized through formal institutions, resulting in a disciplined and loyal military force directly tied to central authority. Religious and cultural diversity was carefully managed, allowing different communities to follow their own traditions under the supervision of local officials appointed by the central government. In the 16th century, under the leadership of one of its most renowned sultans, the empire reached the height of its territorial expansion. Large portions of southeastern Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa came under its control. The empire's powerful navy dominated the Mediterranean, securing trade routes and reinforcing control over coastal cities. At its peak, the empire's influence stretched from the gates of Vienna in Europe to the western coast of North Africa, and its highly organized administrative structure enabled it to govern millions of people effectively. Despite its immense strength, the empire eventually faced challenges that led to its gradual decline. Internal power struggles, succession disputes, and the rapid rise of competing European powers weakened central authority. Efforts to expand eastward toward the Indian subcontinent were hindered by vast distances and logistical difficulties, while ongoing naval confrontations with European powers limited the empire's influence over Indian Ocean trade. During the 17th and 18th centuries, the empire's grip over its territories continued to weaken. Several provinces sought greater autonomy, and regional powers emerged in areas that had once been firmly controlled by the central government. Social and military reforms failed to keep pace with the rapid technological and political changes taking place in Europe, while external pressures further accelerated the empire's decline. By the 19th century, the empire had lost most of its European territories, with its authority largely confined to its Anatolian heartland and parts of the Middle East.